I think anybody that that plays at this level and is capable of having moments like this in these games certainly is a little bit different than, you know, your average kid who puts up big numbers against somebody and then doesn't even play in the NCAA tournament. And then no disrespect to any kid that has ever made All-American, but I always think that in basketball you're judged by how much success your team has and what your contribution to that team was. And you know, whether they put Kristen on that team or not, I have no control over that. But I think we do have control about how the season ends, I hope. And I think that's more important. But I do think she deserves to be on it.
How did you see Izzy even grow up during the game? She had a little bit of a tough start, but then she obviously came through.
Yeah, she's done that before, where she'll start great and then disappear a little bit, or she'll not be engaged and then all of a sudden she'll just explode onto the scene. And I think that's indicative of someone who's not played enough college basketball. The intensity level and the grind of every possession, they're not used to that at the high school level, you know. And we put the ball in her hands a lot, and we ask her to do a lot, and I hardly ever take her out. So that's a lot they ask for a freshman, and you know, we're putting her on the free throw line in the toughest situations, and because I know she's going to make them. And hey, listen, there was a point in time in November we got back to the Bahamas. I didn't think she'd play the rest of the year. I mean, we were looking at a scenario that Paige and Izzy might not be playing the whole year. Who knows? If these things don't get better, I don't know what's going to happen with these two. And now, look, here we are without those two. The season will be over now.
Coach, what can you say about the contributions of Nika Mule tonight? Only 8 minutes, but undoubtedly impactful. A +8 out there. What can you say about her contributions, particularly in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, you know, the coaches were clamoring, you know, you need to get her in there. And it's weird because usually when we need points, that's not when you think of Nika. So we were down, I think 5 or 6 maybe at one point, I'm not sure. But we knew that if we put her in, things would automatically change. And the whole environment out there would all of a sudden get amped up because that's what she does. And she had a huge turnover that she forced in the bucket that we got. And there's just an infectious way that she plays. I've said this before, and she could play 4 minutes or 40 minutes. She impacts the game, and that's the best thing you can say about a player.
You've had a couple of tough postseason losses over the last few years. Tonight, when you put like, Jesus, we don't need this again. And then how good was it to kind of exit at the end?
Yeah, any loss in March, you know, just tears your heart out because, you know, it's over. It's the end. You know, we got to wait another 12 months now to get to the same spot. Who knows what could happen in 12 months, right? So, yeah, we're up 3. We got the game won, and then we fouled the kid, you know, in the corner. Then we're up 3 again, and one of our resident geniuses thinks that they can go get a steal, and instead they loses the kid, and they get a 3 to tie it. And it's just, yeah, after a while you start to say, how many opportunities are we really going to get to win this game? Yeah. But it's been that kind of year, you know? Nothing's come easy. And I guess this wasn't supposed to be easy either.
You know, the moments that you mentioned could have been backbreakers. How did you think the team responded to, you know, even missing free throws at the end and having to get a stop and just having to continue on, especially when the shot that NC State makes at the buzzer seems like a game winner?
Yeah. The one that was with .8, I guess they ended up putting on the clock. I thought that one was the one that was just going to make our team feel like, what else are we supposed to do? You know, after all this, you know. But the look on their faces was a little bit of how can this happen right now after all we've done? But when they got to the bench and we came back out, it was more of all right, this is just one more thing. It's just one more thing, and let's just, you know. And then Paige said, "That's fine. You know, this is one more thing, and now, you know, she decides I'm going to do what I do, and the rest is in the scorebook.
Coach, did you think about fouling there up 3?
Well, there was a point where and I had nothing but negative thoughts in my head that whole time. All I'm thinking of is we don't have enough rebounders. All I'm thinking is we're going to foul while she's shooting the 3, and now they're going to get 4, and now we're going to lose. Then they're going to make a free throw, miss, get the offensive rebound, score, and get fouled, and now we just lost the game. So there was never a time when I thought about it that I went, yeah, that's a great idea. I think we're going to do it. And normally, I'm a very positive guy when it comes to like winning games. But this time I was more negative than usual. Like, no way. I think we can keep these guys from getting one off. And we had everything done right. That we had the kick guard and the foul. The ball was halfway there, didn't even get to the rim without the foul. And then the second one, we made a mistake defensively. And to their credit, they knocked it in. Normally situations, yeah. Listen, we got Dorka, we got Aaliyah, and we got Liv. We're going to foul and put those 3 guys in the lane, and we're going to get the rebound. I didn't have that warm and fuzzy feeling tonight, and it almost cost us.
Geno, the pace of...
At the end of regulation, you made that opposite decision. A lot of coaches are fouling then, they've got the ball, and you let your defense do its job.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to trust your guys at some point, right? And, Wes said that, we should have won. He said, look, we should have won in regulation. He thought that they waited a little too long to get into their stuff and then didn't have enough time. And but he didn't want to leave enough time on the clock for us in case they missed. So they took it all the way down to the end, and at that point, I'm trusting that we're going to get a stop. That's all there is to it.
Geno, the pace of this game is so different than you've been holding teams to 40 and just trying to outscore them. Did you know you had that in you to outscore somebody 91 to 87?
No, we're an okay defensive team. We're not a great defensive team. We're okay as a team playing team defense. But individually, we're not a great defensive team. We have too many young guys that are not really good defensive players. So when a team is as experienced as NC State and is able to exploit some of the things that we're not good at, there's nothing we can do about it. And Kristen made a good point. She said, I want to help in the post, but I also know that I'd rather give up a 2 than a 3. Well, then we end up giving up a 2 every single possession. So, they give them more credit than us blame, because they just took advantage of it all. And then we came down and made shots. So we just traded punches for the longest time until there were no more punches to throw.
Geno, how many times have you been back to Target Center since '95?
Never.
So what's it going to be?
Well, I might have been there. No, I shouldn't say that. The Wolves still play there, right?
Yeah.
And the Lynx still play there, right? It's still the same place. There's not a new place called the Target Center.
Right.
It's still the same place. So I remember being at a game there to see, I forget why we were up there. I think it was a USA basketball thing, but we all went to the game, and I had a chance to watch Cheryl's team. But that was it. That was the one time that I've been there. I've been to Minneapolis, obviously, a lot of times, but no, it'd be interesting to walk into that building again.
Is something going to snap? You're going to have flashbacks?
I'm just glad that we get to go play, and it's funny, last time we went there in the semifinals, we played Stanford. I mean, life is really crazy, the stuff it throws at you, right? This is Wes's first Final 8 game, right? And they're playing us. Our first Final 8 game ever, we played NC State. Life is, you can't make it up, man.
Like Clemson.
We have time for 1 or 2
No.
more.
Clemson, the final 8. First Sweet 16.
Oh, I'm sorry. Our first regional
Yeah, first regional
game ever, we played NC State. Yeah. And they were the #1 team in the country too at the time.
Do you get excited when you see Paige start playing like that, or are you so wrapped up in the game you're just,
No.
thinking about other things? Or can you say
No,
she's back?
usually with her, I'm just pissed that it's not consistent the whole game, that she just kind of picks and chooses when she wants to. And today, she had no choice. It was either do it every possession or we're going to lose. So I like when she's like that, when she feels like she has to be that aggressive every possession, because everything good comes from how aggressive she is. That just makes life easier for everybody else. But that's not the way she always is. So yeah, I'm Paige. Don't get me started.
Well, what were you showing her in the box score that you crumbled it up and threw it at her?
Well, I don't know what those plus and minuses are, but she was -6. And you know what she said? She goes, "It's the 2 threes I gave up." Jay, you can't get anything by her. She's got an answer for everything, man.
She was -1 against UCF.
She's a liability on the court.